We want to start today's episode and just let everybody in New Zealand, we have a lot of listeners there, beautiful listeners that reach out all the time, and just let them know that, our hearts are with them. And I know it's just, I'm sorry that this sort of thing is there, this sort of travesty, and that it's anywhere. But just wanted to let you know that we were thinking of you. Happy St. Paddy's Day to everybody. So if you got a small buddy or whatever, or even just somebody who's loves alcohol, or just likes green lipstick or anything, if you like somebody, a lot of people smoke crack on St. Patrick's Day. And it has nothing to do with being Irish or anything, or nothing about luck. So whatever. What I'm saying is this. Today's episode is brought to you by Gray Block Pizza. Gray Block. If you have not yet had the experience of something in your mouth that has cheese and meat and sauce on it, then you can have that at Gray Block Pizza, 1811 Pico Boulevard in Los Angeles, on the way to the beach. Gray Block, get that hitter. Also announcing some new tour dates right now in Australia. We'll be adding May 22nd at the Enmore Theatre. May 24th, I'll be at Goldfields in Melbourne. May 25th, I'll be at the Metro Theatre in Sydney. May 26th, I'll be at the Astor Theatre in Perth. May 29th, the AEC Theatre in Adelaide. May 31st, the Plenary One in Melbourne. And that June 1st is BCEC Grand Hall in Brisbane. One or two of those may have added a late show as well. I would just go check all of those out, theovon.com/tour, TOUR. Also, support for this past weekend comes from Manscaped, who is number one in men's below-the-belt grooming. That's right, men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for manscaping with the right tool for the right job. Now, we all have had times, like for me, I'll be running late for a wedding or, do a roller skating meetup or something. And I'll just quickly decide, right now is when, I'll get out the shower and I'll see my crotch area. And I'll see, it looks like, an old lady's yard after her husband passes away or something. You're like, damn, somebody needs to get over there with a whacker. They got, vines everywhere and just shit, run amok. And so that's when I'll get down, I'll get some scissors real quick and I'll try to tidy up. Sometimes I'll get a lighter and even just light it. And bend over and just really quickly just flash it back and forth around my nuts and bottom to get those long reacher hairs. Well, Manscaped doesn't want us doing that type of stuff anymore. It's the Perfect Package 2.0 kit features the Lawnmower 2.0 with skin-safe technology. This trimmer won't nick or snag your nuts. That's what it says with an exclamation point at the end. It's also 100% waterproof and shock resistant. Ooh. Precision tools for your family jewels. Your balls will thank you. You can get 20% off, free shipping, and a free travel bag with the code THEO at manscaped.com. manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping and a free travel bag at manscaped.com and use code THEO. Take care of yourself. Get your crotch a practical cut. Manscaped sends a beautiful box. They got the trimmer. They got the mower. They got that hitter. You feel fucking, Guatemalan after that. Your nuts feel like they could dance. You feel like you're ready for something new. You could take your nuts back to kindergarten. That's how young and fresh and ample they look. So, take care of your body. Okay, let's start off with, remember this original old theme song we had for this past weekend? Some of you new listeners may not even know it. Oh, yeah.
Celebrate living, celebrate misery. Let's have some fun while we all die. Celebrate
dark days. Celebrate all your pain. You'll love the demon's exercise. And that is the Spencer Jacob Growl Band. And that's growl, not like growl, like an animal does, but growl. Like you're almost angry. Grau. And that's their song Celebrate. And Spencer lent us that song a long time ago to kick off the episodes. And I saw him the other night at the Comedy Store, and it was awesome. He had a new little dime piece with him, you know, and she was a tall dime, too. I mean, she was, you know, 2 nickels stacked on each other. I mean, she was a heightly lady, and they really looked like they were having just a blast. So it was nice to see him and nice to have the song again. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's that time. I'm in studio, and our producer Nick Davis is here with me today.
What's going on, Theo?
Not much, man. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was good. Pretty relaxed. I'm all fired up. I've been listening to a lot of Jocko Willink lately.
Really?
Yeah. He's prioritize and execute. Got a lot on the plate, so just trying to knock it out.
And how's he doing? Does he sound like he's doing okay?
I'm way back in the catalog, so who knows? He could be dead by now once I get to the current episodes. But yeah, episodes 1 through 10, amazing.
Wow. Okay, good. Right on. So his early stuff is popping.
Yeah. I'm a Jocko Willink hipster. I only listen to his early stuff.
Oh yeah. I love that. And Jocko Willink is a Navy SEAL that, led a lot of charges there in Iraq and Afghanistan, and has done a lot of stuff in the Middle East, and just a real, he definitely wears the pants in his family. I would say that he's that kind of man. Did you do anything for St. Patty's Day?
No. I listened to a bunch of voicemails, did some work. I watched the UFC fights. Mm-hmm. But today's St. Patty's Day, so I'm hanging out with you.
Nice. Yeah, happy St. Patty's. Dude, I was thinking about this, man. They don't have, St. Patty's is one of those, holidays, a lot of times, and I'll say holidays, they also often sensationalize little people. And some people say midgets. If you're, 60 or older, you say midget. And if you're, 40 or younger, you say little people. And if you're 40 to 60, you say whatever you want, and then somebody either corrects you or they don't. But, do you notice that like a lot of holidays, it's like, they got the little guy on St. Patrick's Day, or the little lady. Santa has the elves. Mm-hmm. On Halloween, they may have a little Frankenstein, or, a little Bloody Benny, or a little vampire guy. And you have a little fella just dripping blood off of his face. Do you notice that?
Yeah, definitely. And then when it's not a holiday, they're making cookies. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's true. A lot of those channels, they sensationalize them. They say, oh, let's see these little arms make a cake, or let's see these, little legs run to get a fresh egg. And some of that shit, man, it's like, it had me thinking the other day, I was thinking about somebody had a fancy, like this beautiful little poodle named Waffle. And it was like a little toy poodle, they said. And it was, this fucking thing was probably 8 inches square, and it's fluffy. It seemed like something you'd see at Restoration Hardware, just perched on, a little fake deal. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. What they do is they get dogs, small dogs, to do sex, and then make a little dog. And then they keep doing it. It's fucking crazy, man. Imagine if you did that with little people. I was thinking, what if you had, you have a party, you invite, little Janet and fucking small Andy over, and then you get them all, slip them each a roofie or something and get them to fuck in the back room, right? Unbeknownst to them, just so they make a smaller child. And then, when that kid gets old enough to have sex and is, knows a female, if it's a male that wants to have sex, then you get them to come over. In 60 years, you could have a person that's fucking this big, You could have a guy that just runs around in your desk and gets you a pen if you need it, you could have anything. But it just seems like, because for all the fiascos you hear about the dog community, and we got to support this community, and, Dogs Without Borders, and, no more whistles and all of this shit. It's like, at the same time, there's this other darker universe where they're, downbreeding these animals to make them as small as possible.
Mm-hmm. It's It's kind of horrific, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just if you did it with your friends or something, or if you did it with small people, it would be, I think it would be frowned upon.
100%.
You know? Let's go drink with a bunch of little people and get them all to fuck again so they can keep making smaller little people. You know, you could have a fuck, you know what I'm saying? In 200 years, you could have a fucking little 4-inch girl in your pocket, you know, and they're just fucking counting change, just organized, you know, moving quarters over here and nickels over to this side. So anyway, I don't know why I was thinking about that. I think just the holidays and St. Patrick's Day. I was thinking about this, man. I was watching some of the videos of the This Past Atlantic City. And you helped put some of that together, Nick, and you did a great job. And I was thinking, when I hit the stage, man, one thing I was like, I didn't really think that I thanked the crowd enough. I felt like I had this feeling like we did it, you know? Like that was a feeling that I had that I wish I maybe had expressed more. Because it's just like, yeah, it's like there's just so many people, you know, and so many people are excited. And it feels like a group thing.
I kind of think the way you thank them is by making them laugh.
Right.
You held up your end of the bargain. They showed up. You made them laugh. Everybody's grateful.
Right. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe sometimes I just think, I don't know. Sometimes it's like I always find like a problem with stuff, you know? I don't know what that is. But yeah, I just want to say thank you again to everybody that came out over there. And we did it, man. We really, really did it. It's not something that I do alone. I don't feel like it's something that we do together, that Nick does, that Nick helps out with. And, you know, and just this, you know, we got this sweet kind of community going on. Mm-hmm. And so we got to find some cool stuff to do. We got to get a van, bro, you know?
Yeah, I love the community. It was really fun listening to all those calls that came in this week. Hearing all the people listening.
Yeah.
They're everywhere and they're doing everything. Awesome.
Well, I'm excited to be there. Dude, I just went to a NASCAR today.
That's sick.
Dude, I went to the casino last night with Megan, you know, that does the finances, right? Mm-hmm. So we went to the casino and then we went to the NASCAR.
You guys are gambling all the finances?
No, this is definitely, it's out of personal accounts.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, good. And dude, I'd never been to a NASCAR race. Bro, you get in there and like, it was so much more chill than I thought it was going to be. Like, there's definitely a lot of people who have had a lot of Mountain Dew, you know, like a lot of real people that know their way around a fucking, you know, half cup of Code Red, you know. But you get in there and it's just awesome. It's just like you're getting some sunshine. There were the mountains in the back. It was at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, and then you just got, you know, like Joey Logano and, you know, somebody Bush the third and frickin' Larry Truex Jr., and they're just fucking driving around as fast as they can.
I can only think of the 90s guys. I know Jeff Gordon and Junior.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was like. I kept asking other people in the stands, like, is this guy in it? Is this guy in it?
You just got to pick a deep cut, and he's your favorite.
Yeah, I picked a couple cars. One car, the group that I went with, they had their company had sponsored a car, and their car was like dead fucking last, bro. And they were fucking. I was like, did you guys get an Uber driver? Like, that guy looks fucking lost. Like, it definitely looked like he was asking for directions, like, all the time. Like he just accidentally got off on the wrong exit, you know? Mm-hmm. And they had one black driver, and the cops pulled him over, like, on the second lap. Fucking so racist, bro. Unbelievable.
Maybe they should get an Uber driver for the cars, like a nice Armenian guy. I think he could come in first.
Oh, that would be good, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, those guys are... if you get one from L.A....
You know me, I'm all about that Uber life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get a nice 4.95 Armenian.
I know, dude. Yeah. What is your passenger rating on Uber? Do you have it?
Yeah, it's 4.91.
Oh, God, that's great.
Yeah, I drove for Uber for 6 months, like really, really full time. So I feel like it's like people who worked in the service industry. They have a ton of empathy. So I'm just always reading the vibe. Do they want to talk? Do they not want to talk? I'm a chill co-rider.
Yeah. And what's like the worst passenger, like type of passenger to get when you were driving?
I mean, drunks.
Really?
Yeah, totally. had people throw up in my car. I had these two angry lesbians. One time they wanted to go through the drive-through, and then I refused because it was like it used to be surge pricing at bar time, and that's when you made all your money. And they wanted to go right at 2 a.m. and I was like, I can't do it. And they freaked out and they stole all my waters. I had bottles of water, and they grabbed a handful of it and they smashed my mirror on the way out. It was harrowing.
Really?
Yeah.
And so, and that was that the most violent incident you had?
Yeah, that was definitely the most violent. But one time I had to help these girls carry just a drunk, passed out girl, and I was like, "Do you even know her?" I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy out there.
It's tough out there, huh? Mm-hmm. And what's the worst type of driver to get as a passenger, do you find?
Someone who smokes cigarettes, honestly. Straight up, I hate getting in a car that smells like smoke. And I love looking at a driver's rating and like guessing what type of vehicle I'm going to get into. And if they have a low rating, lots of times it's an odor problem.
Oh, really? Yeah. You know what? I've noticed that too. Especially sometimes they got a girl up there or a fella up there and they have all these snacks. You know, they got a couple bags of snacks under the seat, like a couple burgers or something like that. One dude, he kept doing gas, right? And then in the door, he had one of those Glade just air fresheners. He would fart and then just shoot it. Like it was like it was totally normal, bro. He would just blast and then pick it up and just put a little in the air, you know?
And to be honest, there's nothing worse than I'd rather sit in the gas, I think. That combination of that doesn't really mask it and they just blend.
Oh, yeah. Damn, that's so dirty, huh? Can't somebody make a freaking Glade that does, that fucking actually helps? Yeah, it smells like you're at, it smells like you're in a garden where people are growing shit also, you know? Like they got the flowers, but then they got the fucking shit shrubs right under them. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Can't believe they have that. Dude, speaking of smoking, I want to say this. In the past 3 weeks, I have had 3 cigarettes. And I feel so much better, man.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I feel so much like, it's just like a less stress. But in some ways, I feel a little bit more anger because it's like instead of like being able to go chill out and have a cigarette, I have to like deal with whatever feeling I'm having. So it's like I have to like, you know, I have to figure out why I feel bad instead of just go have a cigarette to calm me down. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's been doing the Chantix. People, you know, I got a lot of messages. Said, Theo, don't do the Chantix. It'll kill you. You know, my cousin jumped off a bridge. My cousin jumped into a fucking volcano, somebody said. I'm like, what? Dude, that's your cousin, bro. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, that ain't fucking Chantix.
You can't blame Ray Liotta for that.
Yeah, dude, it doesn't say on the package, like, you know, stay out of Oahu. But yeah, I'm feeling better, man. And so it's worked for me. I'm not working for the company or anything like that, but I am telling you that Chantix has worked for me. I'm grateful that we got a lot of people last week. We just wanted to know who listens to the podcast, and we got a lot of calls that came in. And so I want to hit a couple of those right now.
Hey there, Theo, gang. You said to call and say who's listening. And my name is Kevin, and I'm a Jimmy John's driver.
Ooh, Kevin, my favorite sandwiches. And you know, I'll fucking take a turkey tom to the face anytime. I mean, dude, if somebody had a bazooka and they walked up to me and they had a turkey tom in it and fired that bitch as fast as they could right into my mouth, I would take a chance at it.
Those T-shirt cannons with Jimmy John's instead?
Yeah, dude, yeah. Oh, I'd way weather that, man. They got the, you know, and I like watching black girls eat Jimmy John's, dude. I remember when I'd be in Louisiana, sometimes they had these 2 black girls that lived by me, and they'd fucking get a Jimmy John foot long and split that thing. God damn, man. That shit would make my butt wet. You know, it just made me feel different. So I miss some of that. Onward, brother. Thanks for calling, Kevin.
In Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yep.
And I know you like them Jimmy John's, the made-in shitters.
Gang, boy, and they are beautiful, dude. Some people fuck with the tuna, dude. I ain't getting fish at a fucking sandwich shop, bro. Save that water cattle for the ocean, bro. You know, I'll get fish if I'm taking a lady out. If I'm proposing to a woman, I'll buy a cut of fish. But I ain't fucking around just getting fucking fish all half-heartedly at 1 a.m. in the morning when I don't even know anybody in the building, and they doing it with an ice cream scooper. Get the fuck out of here. I got way more respect for fish than to let somebody serve me part of their dead body out of a fucking ice cream scoop. And you should. Not you, Kevin. You sound like a nice guy. Let's hear more.
So I thought I'd give you a call and let you know when I'm cruising around delivering these subs, you know, these hard salams, you know, the roast beef.
Hell yeah.
All of them birds, cows. When I deliver,
All of it, bruh. Nobody delivers dead animals like my boy fucking Kev over there in Milwaukee.
I'm listening to this past weekend. And I'll be honest, man, sometimes I kind of cheat on you and listen to Bill Burr's podcast as well. But this past weekend is bumping in this Honda Accord all day.
Gang, gang, boy, Honda Accord. And my whole family, man, at some point in life, everybody in my family is at a Honda Accord. Except my sister used to have a Honda Civic when she used to date a lot of brothers. And that was back in the day. Dude, back in the day, if you saw a white girl, kind of a thick white girl with a Honda Civic, they had a brother in the passenger seat. And that was a different time. That was in the 90s. But, man, thanks for sporting it, bruh. You know, they had a pizza guy. One time we're at this party, and what the fuck did that dude do? Oh, some guy crashed his car in the woods. It was a pizza guy, and I think he was just an alcoholic. But he was also doing pizza. And he crashed his car in the woods, and he came to the party. We were having a party. This dude comes up, and he's like bloodied up and shit. And he's like, I need help, you know, I crashed. And it was Domino's. And half the people from the party went to his car and just stole all the fucking pizzas out of it, out of his hat.
Makes sense.
Bro, you can't slip, bro. You got to bring your fucking items with you. You got to fucking bring that product, dog. I don't care if you bleeding. I don't care if you dying. I don't care if you got one foot in a bear trap, bitch, you know? You got to put them pies in a fucking sack and do your work, man. That guy was really half-assing it now that I think about it. But thanks for calling, Kevin. I appreciate it, man. Let's take another call as to who listens to the podcast. Just wanted to know, like, who we are. Onward.
Hey, Theo. My name is James. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I am a doorman at a luxury hotel. I dress like the Monopoly man with a top hat and coattails, and I talk all fancy. But in my part-time, I build percussion instruments and make music, trying to make that my full-time. I listen to your podcast when I work out, when I cook breakfast, when I clean, and when I drive to work.
Amen, brother.
Kind of a long commute, so I appreciate your content. You're funny as hell.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate the nice words. Dude, you ever been a bellman?
I haven't. I was a busboy at Perkins, and I did a little hosting, you know, when they needed it. But
did you?
Yeah.
That male host up front.
Yeah.
Dude, now male host, a lot of time people think that fella's you know what I'm saying, a homeowner, bro. You know?
Yeah.
A homosexual.
One day I hope to be a homeowner.
I know, yeah.
It's hard in LA.
But dude, you know what I'm saying? If you walk into a place and they got a male host at the hostess stand, you know, I know times are different now, but when I was coming up, it was like, I would even, if I ever had to do that, because sometimes I worked in Tucson at this place called City Grill, and one of the guy that made the pies up there got busted, I think, for buying a bunch of illegal shrimp. He was buying black market shrimp and saving money, you know, on the books or whatever. But anyway, this dude Ted, who rode a bike to work. But anyway, sometimes if I had to stand in for the hostess, I would just stand real far away from it, and if somebody came in, I would just yell at them like, "Hey, y'all need a table?" You know, so that way it just seemed like I was maybe a waiter in the distance, you know. But if you're that bellman, dude, here's what I would be doing. When you got rich people's luggage, get a little couple hits of weed in your lungs, blow it through the fucking luggage right into the bag. You know what I'm saying? Just send them fucking home with that fucking, let the dogs deal with it after that. Get a lung full of that fucking hemp's better brother and fucking just blow that shit. Just put your face, your mouth, your lips, your pursed lips on the luggage and breathe it right into the bag.
Get them stopped at the airport when they leave.
Yeah, get them stopped. Let the rich see what life is like. Let the rich see what life is like. Dude, I remember when I used to live with my friend Bo, they had a closet. We put 2 mattresses in a closet. It was a big closet. And and at night everybody else would party all night, but I worked for his dad at a shipping yard, piping services, doing like, fuck, I don't know what we're doing, really just hiding from the boss all day, right? In a warehouse, you know, to be honest, man. But so I put some blankets up right there because they didn't have any doors, because I had to sleep, because I had to get up about 6 a.m. when they all went to bed from partying all night. But right before, like, they'd all go to bed, they'd all smoke a couple joints and blow the smoke through the fucking blankets into my little domicile in there. So I'm dead asleep, dude. It's just basically inhaling fucking weed, right? So I'd wake up for work high as fuck, man. And I didn't even smoke weed. So I'd wake up and just be high as fuck and have to go to work all day, man. That shit was hectic.
Was it sleeping area at the job, at the warehouse?
No, it was across. Yeah, it was about a half hour away.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I would just get up and then it would just be hell because I'd be starving. I'd have to fucking go to work. I'd be high. They're like, "You're high on the job." I'm like, "I'm not." I mean, I am, but this is secondhand, you know? Let's pay for the episode here. And I want to say that, is there something that interferes with your happiness or is preventing you from achieving your goals? If so, Betterhelp Online Counseling is there for you. Betterhelp offers licensed professionals, counselors who are specialized in issues such as depression, stress, anxiety, anger, grief, self-esteem, and more. Connect with your professional counselor in a safe and private online environment. Anything you share is confidential, and it's so convenient. Best of all, it's a truly affordable option. And this past weekend listeners get 10% off your first month with discount code TheoVon, no spaces. So why not get started today? If you need help, if you are struggling with something and do not have access to help, you can go to betterhelp.com/TheoVon, TheoVon. Simply fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a counselor you'll love. That's betterhelp.com/TheoVon, TheoVon. And the reason why I'm advertising for them or reading this for them is because I've tried it. You know, I went on their services, and you can do Skype, you can do FaceTime on your phone to talk with a real counselor. You know, you can text. I mean, you can text and exchange like that. You can just talk verbally, audio only, or you can actually sit there on FaceTime and speak with someone. And there's some opportunities you can even meet in person. So betterhelp.com/TheoVon. If you need help, you know, a lot of us need help. And sometimes, you know, in my life, I've just been afraid to say that I do. You know, in some ways I stay, there's a ton of ways that I still am afraid to say that I need help. And dude, I was thinking the other day, it's just something you don't want help. It's like this human thing, like about anything, whether it's a mental issue or anything. It's like sometimes I just don't want help. You know, I just want to do it myself. And if I can't do it myself, I'd rather not do anything. You know, but I feel like from my own experience that it doesn't always serve me well. You know, in the end, you know, we can't do anything alone. We couldn't do this podcast alone. I couldn't do it without Nick, and I couldn't do it without our listeners. Let's take another call as to who called into the podcast. And it's so funny you said Nashville, man. I have this Leaper's Fork shirt on right now, and I'm thinking about going there and buying some land, man. I'm thinking about, you know, with some of the money I'll be making doing some comedy in here and there, I'm thinking about just getting a piece of land that I could have one day, you know?
I love that idea. I have a pipe dream. I want to have some land in Wisconsin and live here, but be able to go back there in the summer. I love that idea. Land is I want to own land.
Yeah, just want to have I don't know, man. It just seems like it'd be just I feel so stressed out here a lot of times. I mean, it's just everywhere here is like a business. I just feel like it's always an office, you know? Everything is just a transaction. Mm-hmm. It just feels different. But thank you for calling, and good luck over there, and good luck making those, he said he made, what did he say he made?
He was a dork.
I listen to your podcast when I work out.
He said,
I build percussion instruments and make music.
Then percussion instruments. Good luck with that, and that's a drum. All right. Let's take another call here. Somebody who listens to the podcast. Onward.
Hi, Theo. This is Lacey. I just saw your recent this past weekend, and you said you wanted to know who's listening out there. I'm a 26-year-old mom of 2. I'm listening to your podcast as I feed them breakfast in the morning.
Oh, wow. You thinking with spoon or with nipple? How are you seeing that meal pass, Nick?
I'd have to get the ages on those children.
Yeah. I'm probably maybe one of each, you know. Thank you for listening. Onward.
And just wanted to say also that I'm excited to see you on the 29th of March in Phoenix. My husband and I are going to have a date night and hopefully cry laughing and gang gang.
Gang, gang. Maybe you guys can pop that third that night, you know? Maybe you guys can get that third child. Gestation. But thank you for calling. I'm excited that you guys are coming out on the 29th. That's there in Phoenix. I think we're going to add a Thursday night show to Phoenix as well. Or maybe a Sunday show. I'm not sure yet. And Kansas City as well. I think we're adding some shows over there. This coming weekend, I'll be in San Jose. And that is San Jose. That's in California. And we're going to be doing 7 shows, maybe 8 shows, Thursday through Sunday. So that's going to be a real ride. What else we got, Nick? Let's hit a little bit of news, man. I'm just keyed up off that fucking NASCAR, bro. The cars go by so fast. And at first I got there, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to. And then I was like, this is awesome. And it wasn't like it's way rowdier like an NFL game or something. It was super calm. People were relaxing, just getting some sun. Like, I don't know if maybe when the sun sets, if that's when like spousal abuse and everything kind of pops off. But it was calmate, you know, and it was a lot of, just chill people. You know, met one dude, he said he listens to the podcast all the time. It was just, I'm trying to think of, you know, when it started to get, the longer I was there, the more exciting it got. They had one wreck, and we were right in the cheap seats. We were right, like, around the curve, so, like, where, like, if you have a relationship, a marriage you don't want to be in, you sit there and take your fucking chances, you know? Or maybe you buy your wife, you know, or somebody bachelorette, you send a bachelorette party there and hope your lady gets popped by a tire or something. Because that's the area, that first curve. It was very sparsely seated. But down the way, full. Seats were full. Because that's where a fucking, you know, a catalytic converter will fucking fly over the netting and fucking pop somebody, you know?
That dead man's curve you talked about, dude. They gotta stop naming stuff that.
Yeah. Just name it, hey, here's a curve. You know how many more fucking people would be alive? Dude, we used to go to this place called Lando Pines, right? And it was a water park. What was y'all's named?
Noah's Ark.
Yeah, Noah's Ark. And this was Lando Pines, and it was really like a lot of pedophiles and stuff up there. And it was turtles, had a bunch of snapping turtles. And they had, if somebody pooped on the slide, they would shut the thing down for like, it would basically like for 10 minutes and kind of do nothing and then fucking start it back up. It was so fucking bizarre. Like, we all thought they were doing something, but they would just kind of fucking be standing around. And that's reverse psychology, I think. What were we talking about, man?
You went to Pine Island?
Oh, Land of Pines,
Land of Pines.
And that was our little water park. And you had to drive down this road, and it had like 7 dead man's curves on it. I'm like, dude, just fucking have regular curves. You'll have way more business.
We're straight.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. It's like, oh, we want it to be scenic, and thousands of people die over the years. Yeah, I know. So then it's always those white crosses, and you feel so bad. But at the NASCAR, that one of that curve, you know, a fucking tire, something could just fly right over that. They have steel netting right there in front of you. But it's not super high. It's only about like 20 feet. And it's curved towards the track. But you could easily see a fucking catalytic converter, a fucking blinker. Because those accidents are strong. Mm-hmm. You know, fucking, you know, your ex-husband, you know, catches a left turn signal to the face at fucking 200 miles an hour. That shit's gonna fucking sting. Let's hit some news. What do we got, Nick?
Sure. First up, James Gunn was reinstated as the writer-director of Guardians of the Galaxy. They removed him last July after people made a big hullabaloo about some of his old tweets.
Yeah, and that seemed And so now he's back in, and a lot of celebrities came to support him.
Yeah, most of the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy, they were all like in his corner.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy. Like Twitter, I don't know if you can use Twitter. I don't think Twitter shouldn't be a news source anymore, I feel like. And maybe that's egregious of me to say, but, you know, somebody says something from 10 years ago. What if they were, you know, a swim instructor? You know, and just because they have that timeline in their life, you can't respect that somebody went from one place to another place. Maybe they had different views, and now their views are or have changed, which is, if they have, it's what you want. Like if you have a guy 20 years ago that was saying racist stuff, and then you have 15 years of him, and you don't have any of that, and maybe you have him doing stuff that's not it's just like, it's like we're afraid to even let people have any proof of their change. You know, is that crazy? What do you think?
No, and did you see his tweets at the time? Like, I'm always trying to be really objective on like these stories, but his were just seemed like really bad jokes. Like they were cringy.
Oh, yeah.
They were cringy and not funny, but it really seems not a fireable offense what he was tweeting. People were saying he was making light of pedophilia and rape, which I guess you could read it in that way, but I think they were like missed attempts at humor that were really harmless, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's like humor's outlawed. And it's crazy, and I think all that's going away so fast. All of that, like, are you going to hold a tweet against me from the past? It's because otherwise, it's just, what do those people want? Like the world to just be, there's going to be nothing left. You know, it's going to keep going down until everybody's no good for some reason. Which everybody's no good for some reason anyway. We're all not that good. You know, two people fucked somewhere and made us. I mean, what do you expect, dude? I feel like we're doing the best that we can.
Yeah.
The guy says a couple of bad jokes, which is every director has bad jokes.
And I think this goes back to what you're saying always, money isn't loyal. Because, like, the second they thought there was a big uproar, they thought it would hurt the movie's bottom line, they're like, you're out.
Yeah.
A year later, just people aren't talking about it, so they're like, okay, you can come back. Because now you'll help. Bringing you back will help us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's the truth, man. Once you have an audience or have something that, those same people who before were writing articles to say one thing, now they'll say, hey, come advertise with our magazine and we'll write an article for you that supports whatever it's just, money isn't loyal, man. It's interesting. And then also, what the fuck do I know, dude? What other news we got? So James Gunn is back. Well, that's good. I think that's an overall good, like, we can't just judge everybody by their tweets.
Agreed.
Dude, I remember, I still feel bad about this sometimes. And I don't say this word. I don't like saying this word that much. But I remember years ago on Facebook, I was on some mushrooms and I was at a party or something. And I just thought, dude, if I was a pussy, I'd eat myself, right? And for some reason, man, I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever heard in my life. So I put it on my Facebook, right? And this is early Facebook, when people were still like getting jobs on there, And dude, I remember I forgot about it because I was on mushrooms, dude. I forgot everything. I forgot I had fucking hands. So, dude, like the next day I read the comment and I was just like, Jesus Christ. Like the previous thing had been like, hey, I'll be in Fresno in 2 weeks at Rooster T. Feathers. And here I was being like, hey, if I was like, well, I said I'd eat myself. Some lady was like, doesn't your mom read this? Like one of my old teachers. Like it was just so demoralizing. But I was also, 27 years old or, 30 years old, so it's like, let's take another call. Who's listening to this podcast? And we're grateful for the listeners. And I'll see that other couple over there in Phoenix. Make sure to say hey to me. I got a gift for you guys. Onward.
Hey, Theo. This is Marissa. I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Hey, Marissa. Thank you for calling from Lincoln, America's. What is it?
I wanted to say they do steaks, but that's Omaha.
Yeah, Omaha steaks. People that eat the steaks. Diners. Onward.
You wanted people to call in and to let you know where we're listening from, and what we do for our jobs. I'm currently a custodian for the public school here in Lincoln, and right now we're on spring break, so just kind of me all by myself in this school. But yeah, I listen to your podcast every new episode there is, along with The King and the Sting with Brendan. If I'm not listening to an MMA podcast, I'm listening to either you goons. So, anyways, stay humble. You're freaking awesome, dude. I couldn't get through this job without listening to some of you funny assholes. So.
Right on. That's a perfect explanation. Funny assholes. That's so true. Or I don't know if that's true, but I'm glad that you think it's true. Wow, a female custodian. I don't know if we had one of those when I was in school. Did you, Nick?
Mm-mm. Yeah, no. Mr. Gleason. I feel like he's the only janitor for all 18 years of school. 13.
Yeah. We had a Mr. Gleason. He taught acting and music. But we had a janitor, Buck. Our janitors only had one name. Buck, Tip. We had a guy named Tip. Dude, I can't imagine being a female janitor. That's wild. I wonder if if you get any like sexual harassment from the students or something, you know? Because those kids are so fired up.
Yeah.
I mean, if high schoolers or whatever, junior high, you fucking punch them and a bunch of semen will kind of fly out of them.
No doubt.
I mean, they're so just amped up our hormones. You fucking pop somebody in the neck, a fucking, 2 hormones will fall on the floor.
And you mix that with some Clorox, who knows?
Yeah, I know. I wonder what it's like. That's interesting. I never have. Have I ever been a custodian? I wonder. I mean, I used to clean up the gym and stuff. I used to clean up after school, and I used to like it. I like sweeping. Because sweeping, you get all the dirt and you get in a little pile and then you fucking go put it somewhere, I mean, you can put it wherever you want. And then, you're supposed to put it in the trash, but you can also put it wherever you want in the whole world. So it's kind of like a little trick I used to do.
I had a couple custodial gigs back in the day. I did, in middle school, I did my church and the rectory, and nothing happened. And then I did, in college, I had a student services job that was doing some of the equestrian area and some of the greenhouses and stuff. Yeah.
Equestrian where for the horses?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
At the at University of Minnesota, they on their St. Paul campus, it's all like animals and agricultural school.
And you clean up animal shit or not?
I didn't touch the shit. It was more like because there's offices and stuff. There's a big horse area, but then there's offices attached to it. So it was pretty regular janitorial stuff, except I saw and smelled horses.
How much poop can be in a horse? Can you look that up? I wonder how much. Let me guess. 4 pounds.
A 1,000-pound horse will defecate approximately 4 to 13 times a day.
Ooh. I'm low.
The 1,000-pound horse will produce on average 37 pounds of feces daily.
Wow.
So that's like
3.5 bowling balls, dude. That's crazy. Think about that. Or the weight of them. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wonder if you could fill up like a medium box or like wonder what kind of box that could fill up. 37 pounds is a pretty good amount. Huh. That's probably at least 2 or 3 book bags full. 2 or 3 LL Bean bags full with that extended cab, the big ones. Mm-hmm. Thank you for calling, young lady, and thank you for listening to this past weekend. And I'm glad that you listen to us, and I'm glad that Brendan, and I'm glad that we're able to make you laugh, and we're able to stay in your ears while you're looking at all those squirrely kids running around.
Speaking of Brendan, did you see his IG story? He's at the Miami Improv this past weekend.
No.
I don't know if it's still up there, but he on Friday and Saturday he was hooked up to an IV.
Oh wow, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, the caption said, "I think I'm allergic to Miami, so we'll have to get the scoop from him."
Damn, maybe he had a little too much lime, Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I hope he's okay. I didn't know that at all. I wonder what could be wrong with him. Could just be exhaustion, maybe, just the traveling around. He could have had a reaction to something. I'll have to check in on him as soon as we're done. Let's take another call here. Here we go. The hotline, as always, is 985-664-9503. this episode, we're kind of just focusing on our, not really, but just kind of listening to people who listen to listening to you, because you always listen to me.
Hey Theo, what's up? It's Ryan from Arizona. Was just calling to let you know that I listen to your podcast every Monday morning while I'm out walking dogs. I'm out here making that dog sitting money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm walking poodles, beagles, even one of them Bijons.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you so much, Theo, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Gang, man, you fucking trotting them frises around. And right now, everybody knows, we talked about this, the Iditarod is going on still. And if you a fucking dog down here lounging and you ain't up in the big race, bruh, then go fuck yourself, son. You know? The real pups are out there running, trying to win something. And you're out here fucking, you know, these dogs, these, you know, it's just, it's so American, you know? I'm just going to stay down here and not get up there and get involved in that big hitter. So a lot of the good dogs are up there, but thanks for walking them. You know, and I think it's amazing that anybody can go into people's houses during the day and not steal something. That's what I think is just fucking baffling. So if you can even do that, that's amazing. You know, much less walk their dog. So thanks for listening, man. I appreciate that. We got a dog walker. We got a female custodian. We got a mama too, by spoon and by nip. We got that hotel doorman. We got that Jimmy John's delivery driver boy. Let's take one more.
Hey, Theo. This is Dakota from Oklahoma.
What's up, Dakota? Nice to see you. And that's a hurricane. That's a tornado country. You know, so you leave a fucking Rubik's Cube in the yard and the wind will fucking do it. You know, it's that wild area. Onward.
And I was just calling to answer your question about who's listening out there. I'm 28 years old, and I dig for a pipeline company. So anytime I'm up on the Chaco digging, getting dirty, I throw you on and you talk me through the day. So I just wanted to say thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Gang, bruh. Thank you for calling, Dakota. And you guys are the people that in Dateline episodes always end up finding a body on accident. You ever see that, Nick?
Yeah, I love Dateline.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I can't even go to sleep, I feel like, without a murder.
That's everybody nowadays. It's hot. Murder's hot.
Isn't it crazy?
Mm-hmm. It makes you wonder. I don't know what kind of people used to talk about like video games for kids back in the day, but all these women and you watching these murder shows. I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, I know this sounds crazy. I wish I was part of like a little women's group and we met up and fucking watched it. Because they'd all get scared and fucking snuggle up on me. And I'd be like, oh, everything's going to be fine, ladies. It's just the wind. You know?
There's a saying I've often repeated, fear is nature's most powerful aphrodisiac.
Ooh. Dude, that'd be great, actually. You hire a buddy to come in the back window and just rub a knife against the wall in the other room. Just to fucking get the ladies all freaking excited. Oh, that's just nothing. You know? You get him to fucking shoot a gun in the other room a couple times. Calm down. It's just the cat. You know? It's just the cat. We got him some new symbols. Yeah. Yeah, man. People love you. See, if you have a girl over, you got to put on a couple Datelines. Put on a scary one. Or put on that Paula Zahn. Or put on that Joe Kenda. Dude, Joe Kenda, bro, that guy looks like he could really fuck. I don't know if you've seen this dude or not. He's only, I think, about 5'6", but at least 4 feet of it has to be fucking wiener. I mean, that dude, that guy's solving crimes in his sleep. I mean, yeah, and he always wears a suit, and he always gets the murderer. And then they got that other guy, the senior citizen dude. You know, and he kind of looks like, he's starting to look like a little bit of like a decent lesbian, you know? He's looking like one of those kind of sun-dried lesbians, you know, that you see up in Idaho. He's got beautiful hair. What's his name? Can you look him up for Dateline? And Lester Holt. First of all, you want to do a mystery, Lester Holt? Who stole your upper lip, brother? Okay? Because you only have one lip, Lester. What about that?
We talk about Keith Morrison?
Keith Morrison. He's the best. He's always the best. He's always like, but what about that shovel? It wasn't usually on the roof. That's my favorite, man. Let's take another news. What do we got, Nick?
See, the recently the largest college admissions scandal ever was uncovered. Over 50 people were indicted of sending bribes to get their kids admitted to college, and two of the notable names were Lori Loughlin, Aunt Becky from Full House, and Felicity Huffman were two of the names charged. Loughlin is the one really that's grabbed headlines. She's accused of paying bribes up to $500,000.
Yeah, I read about this, man. It made me, at first I was like, get them. It's just cheating. Mm-hmm. It's just how, it was the kind of thing that always made me upset when I was young. How like rich, like if you went to, like say, you and a group of people got busted by the cops for something, then the rich kids always got out and you had to stay overnight. You didn't have an attorney. Your dad didn't know somebody in the town. You didn't get that. So then you go to jail. It's a lot of times why a lot of, you see a lot more incarceration of blacks and minorities and poor people overall, really poor people. I mean, we can always kind of, say it's colors and this and that and ethnicities, but really it's really poverty. When you see poor, because they don't have that phone call. Nobody in their family knows that guy to get them out. And nobody in their family knows that guy to get them into college. So it's like, when you have some kid who's a fucking, some kind of kid who's always had it easy, it's like, what do you teach them, if they find out? I wonder if she's apologized to her daughter. I wonder if they even care, if any of them, Maybe when you're like rich like that, you don't even, it's just part of life. It made me mad though, because I always hated that. I don't know if it's called nepotism or what it is, but it's like where, when it's a lot of jobs, it's a lot of like, your dad knows somebody at the business and so that's why you got the job. But then some of that, it's like, I can't be mad because some of that's just the way that life works.
Mm-hmm. The thing that just people are bummed out about is Lori Loughlin's daughter. She's one of them is like a successful YouTuber in her own right. Mm-hmm. And this video came out of her bragging how she didn't care about school and she was only going to USC to party and do the game days. And that like really rubbed people the wrong way because like she's clearly squandering this opportunity that 1,000 people out there would give their left nut for.
Wow. That's crazy, man. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, it just makes me mad. And I guess it's like, can we be as mad at the kids? It's more the parents, really.
Mm-hmm. And then part of me is like, the parents, their thinking is, I want the best for my children.
Right.
I have the means to do so.
Right.
So it's tough, but yeah, when you think about the people who didn't get the opportunity because it happened, that's where it becomes a problem, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's like, it's just that it's tough. It's like, the parents want the best opportunity, but I think the best opportunity is like letting the kids learn, it would seem like. But, I think about this. It's like, I think about, if you grew up with like of not a lot of means, when you had to work hard or you had to work early or your parents didn't have, the high education or the opportunities, maybe their parents didn't have them, so your parents didn't really have them. But then you come up in your life and get to like a different maybe class, hypothetically, or different financial level. Then you raise the kids that were the kids you used to hate because they had everything. That's the crazy thing to me. That's the thing I start to think about. It's like, well, if I have kids one day and they have better means than I had growing up, are they just going to be the kids that I judged, And was it even right for me to judge them? It just seems like, just how do you, it's like the middle is always kind of the best. It's to be able to monitor if you can stay in the middle of things. But I don't know, man. But it's, that people can't go to school, or don't get that opportunity because some kid who wasn't even, I wonder what her classmates thought. Like if there was any poor kids in her school in high school, were like, how does she get to go? How did she get that? Specifically about Loughlin's daughter. But it's just, and sometimes I notice sometimes it's like one generation just has to take an L for the next one. It's like sometimes your parents had to work their asses off And then you're so then things are easier for the next generation. They're just going to be the ones that work hard, and then their kids will have it better. It's just kind of the way it goes a lot of times. Sometimes it's, my parents had to work hard or their parents had, it's like it takes a couple generations sometimes for a family to get, means to have more of an opportunity. And some of that's just life, I think. But damn, bro, I'd be pissed if I were... Well, who do you think's upset about this? Probably just who? Kids that couldn't get in?
Yeah, 100%. Like overachievers who come from poor families who didn't get the opportunity because they don't have someone in their corner. Like you said, they don't have that phone call.
Right. Yeah, man, that shit always made me mad. It just always made me mad when it's because also when you're poor, it seems like you judge that. It's because it's one of the only things you have to judge. It's like. You always feel like those kids have it easier. And in some ways they do, maybe. But in some ways they also don't. I mean, there's still people with feelings and, people that are just living in the environments that they are living in.
Like Jordan Peterson says, you don't necessarily have to have equality of outcome, but you at least want equality of opportunity.
Yeah.
So those kids feel like they're doing everything they can, but it's still not a level playing field.
Yeah. Yeah, and they would bring them in, they'd be like, yeah, Suzette here is on the fucking Domino's squad, And they'd be like, really? And that's how they were doing it, I guess. They were getting coaches to say that students played in certain sports and strange events. I think this thing's going to grow, though. I don't think it's the first time you're going to see this. I think this has got to be happening everywhere. And good. I think a lot of this stuff is a kind of like, there's a big bit of corrections that I think needs to have occurred in America for a long time and everywhere. It's like where, it's not just what you have, but who you are should weigh in on things a little bit more somehow. And maybe that's because everything kind of always evens out. I think anyway. I think you have to believe that. Karma, it always kind of evens out. Some things always seem easier, but then you get into them and you're like, oh, this isn't really, it's just, it's not easier. It's, everything always seems to even out, I feel like. But I'm just rambling. What were you going to say, Nick?
You mentioned how you believe it's like rampant, and I do too. Like, I think this is happening all the time. And then I don't know if it's like a little Eddie Bravo in me, but I'm like, what occurred to make this one come to light when we both believe it's probably happening everywhere, but who pissed off who to make this, that all the shit's hitting the fan all of a sudden when I'm sure there's thousands of people operating like this for a long time.
Yeah. Well, it's like when something grows, if it gets bigger, then more people get involved, more people have an opportunity to see what's going on. Could have been somebody that lost their job and called it out. I'm not sure. Do you know?
No, I don't know what really. There's been a federal investigation ongoing, and they finally just announced it. But it also reminds me of the Bob Kraft thing. There are thousands of massage parlors where the happy ending is a thing.
Yeah.
But this one, for some reason, makes news, and they're putting other people's names out there, and it's just why now?
Right. Yeah, man, and here's the thing. Bob Kraft's 70-something years old. Dude, you want the guy's wife jerking him off? She's fucking 78 or 90. Dude, the guy, you want a younger person with decent flexibility and dexterity to masturbate the man.
No arthritis?
Well, yeah, or just, God forbid somebody's grandmother's over there having to jerk him off, even if it's his wife. If they're good at it, they fucking, juggle or whatever they do, that's the person you want doing it. Somebody that fucking can work at a strip mall and who can get there. You want this guy to have to go to his wife and have, she's probably got bracelets on and shit, and she has to do all of that. God forbid. I don't think any woman over 75 should have to jerk a man off. And, forgive me if I'm wrong. Let's take another call here. Who listens to the podcast? Onward.
Hi, Theo. My name is Amy. I'm a big fan. I have 2 kids in their 20s that also listen to you as well. And all 3 of us are very big fans. I just wanted to talk to you about regular people. That's all we are. I work for an insurance company. My son works. My other son works. We're just regular old people, and we listen to you all the time. And then we talk about what we listen about. And we have a blast with it. I also want to tell you that all 3 of us next month will be 1 year sober. All 3 of us went sober all at the same time.
Wow.
And we did, and listening to you has been a big inspiration.
Wow, that's wild. Wow, what a neat adventure for you and your boys to go through to get just to be sober and see what that is like and have, conversations about that together and see how you feel. It's funny. Thank you for the call and thanks for listening. And that's I'm glad that you're able to find common things to do with your son, with both your sons, and just whether it's this or whatever it is that you have those things. That's really sweet, and that makes me feel good. I appreciate you sharing that.
I like thinking about their household before all 3 of them got sober.
Oh yeah,
I'm picturing like you and your brother beating each other up to 80s rock music.
Just
mayhem.
Yeah, just putting on some fucking you and your 2 sons all dressing up like the Ultimate Warrior, just fucking beating the shit out of each other and having fun and drinking. God dang, that sounds fun too. So if you guys do that next year, please send some videos of that. But I'm glad that you guys enjoyed, and I appreciate y'all listening. Let's see who else listens, man. Let's take another call here. Onward.
Hi, Theo. My name is Shayla. I'm just listening to your Limited Breadsticks podcast at work. Me and my boyfriend are from Bridgeport, Connecticut, and he actually introduced me to this podcast, which I very much enjoy.
Wow, he sounds like a great guy.
He's a contractor and I'm an accountant, and we spend most of our day listening to you. So we appreciate that. We appreciate the entertainment during our boring work hours.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I find stuff to listen to during my boring work hours too. And sometimes it's calls from you guys, so it's great. It's kind of like this wild back and forth that we've kind of created here. So
my boring work hours is listening to this podcast.
That's true.
I enjoy it.
Nick, that's true. Yeah, you're like the full circle.
Yeah. Everything's
coming full circle. But thank you and your boyfriend for listening. I'm not sure if I'm headed up to Bridgeport. I know that I'm adding some dates for San Francisco coming up. And where else? I don't even know. Possibly Toronto, possibly Cleveland. But thank you guys for listening. Let's go to another news story.
For sure.
Nick, I know sometimes we do things different here, and today I was just driving back and the traffic was forever, and I was like, let's just do something different and let's have Nick and we'll just go through it together,
Gang,
bro.
Some news out of your home state of Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
They are reportedly trying to recoup $26 million in accidentally distributed tax refunds from the last week. A computer error caused 66,000 people to receive double refund payments, and they're trying to get it back.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm saying. Good luck. Dude, if when that fucking check comes from the government, I'll cash, dude. I will open up a bank. I'll build a bank in my yard and cash that bitch fast. Ain't nobody recouping shit down in Louisiana. Somebody fucking bought an extra canoe with that money, somebody fucking, put down $200 on a fucking really expensive oyster. You know what I'm saying? Somebody fucking spent some money on a fancy remoulade dressing, a couple quarts that they just couldn't get their hands on before. You out of your mind, you getting that money back, man. Anything else in that story?
Just a spokesperson's urging people to not spend the money. Yeah. But I think, like you said, they should go in there, close their bank, withdraw everything, close their bank accounts, because they said they think they'll be able to get it back because it's direct deposit. So they're just going to pull it out.
Yeah, good luck. That shit's going to be gone. Go get that money. Get that shit out. The government gave you that shit, boy. That's a loan. You got the rest of your life to pay that thing back. Go buy yourself a fucking, a 2-week-old king cake. Go get that. Go buy your ex-husband an extra fucking go buy your ex-husband a damn Fred McAfee tattoo that he could get on his back. Go get that Ronaldo Turnbull chest tattoo you always wanted. Go get something real out there, you know? You can get something nice. For that kind of money, you got that money. Who's that Ohio State receiver that the Saints have now that's really good? Mike. Can't guard Mike. Mike Thomas. Yeah, go get that Mike Thomas full-length leg tattoo that you always wanted. Go spend that money on something good. Go buy a fucking couple 2,000 buckets of shrimp. That's Louisiana. You ain't getting that shit back. Boing.
I get a Deuce McAllister tattoo.
Yeah, get that Deuce. Bro, get that fucking Deuce McAllister face tat. That's not blackface, is it? That's fucking respect. You know, get it in, blue or purple. You know, do something sexy. You could do anything. Just getting that money back. First of all, how in the fuck does the government accidentally give away $26 million? That's not a government. That's a fucking idiot. Dude, if somebody... Look, I've accidentally given away maybe fucking $20, $60, $100. Not once have I ever accidentally given away $26 million. You gotta be... You know how long it even takes you to fucking move $26 million? At least 1 million times. You could probably only move if you have them, if they're ones, 26 at a time like that. Dude, you don't think on maybe the 650,000th time you might fucking have a different idea and put it back? Dude, good luck getting that shit. Louisiana, go spend your money. Everybody getting that money. Oh, man. Unbelievable.
Hey, Theo. Just calling in, letting you know where I listen to the podcast. My name's Jimmy. I'm a fourth-year medical student, and recently I've been studying for my board examination, so all day. So been listening to you in the morning. You kind of start my day off with some good vibes. And then also, I take breaks to work out. Enjoy listening to the podcast. I'm a recent listener, so.
Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks for the call. Good luck with that medical. You know, good luck being, you could be anything. You could be a damn, what, Nick?
You could be like a gut doctor.
Yeah, you could be a gut doctor.
Come on a podcast one day.
Yeah, and come on our podcast one day. We got Dr. Perlman coming on tomorrow.
Perlman.
Pearl Putter. Pearl Mutter. We got Pearl Mutter, dude. And he wrote a book called Grain Brain. And that's about your stomach, estomago. And, dude, if you don't think, first of all, your Pearl Mutter, you know what I'm saying? That used to mean a wiener. But we're very excited to have him in studio. And we got Brian Callen's coming on this week as well. And Mark Geragos couldn't come last week. What happened?
He's advising. He's not actually representing Jussie Smollett, but he's like an advisor on their team, and he was in court. They said he had an emergency fly back east, so I think that's what he did. We're rescheduling for later in April, so he's still going to come in. But yeah, he's all over the place.
That's who everybody. It's all lawyers these days. Everything's a lawsuit these days. I wonder if that'll go away at some point, and we'll just get back to the old ways, you know, or the old days.
You got to ask him that very question.
Yeah. But thank you for listening, man, and good luck with your doctorship, dude. I like doctors. Dude, 2 doctors I've had in my life have been fucking disbarred. Yeah, I'm like, damn, bro, I might fucking die soon. 2 of them, man. Both times I got called up about getting involved in something against them, a lawsuit against them. So everything's getting sued. But good luck out there, man. Thank you for listening. And yeah. I thought about going to law school. I think everybody thinks about that.
Yeah, I like the idea of it too. Like, it's logic. That's what law school is, and
yeah.
I think it'd be valuable for everybody. But yeah, I thought about it too.
Yeah, and I meet a lot of comedians that were in law school or have gone to it or thought about it. So I think it's kind of a popular thing where people are, sometimes will get out of one or get into the other. Or, I know a couple of comedians that are lawyers. And I don't know a lot of comedians that are also another profession. I mean, some part-time professions, but like there's a lot of full-time comedians who are also legal lawyers. Hey Nick, we got an ad here, don't we? Mm-hmm. What is it?
Skillshare.
Skillshare. This past weekend is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare. It's an online learning community for creators. With more than 25,000 classes in design, business, and more, you'll discover countless ways to fuel your curiosity, creativity, and career. Take classes in social media marketing, mobile photography, creative writing, or even illustration. Would you draw? Whatever I want. Whether you're looking to start a new passion, start a side hustle, or gain new professional skills, Skillshare is there to help you keep learning, thriving, and reaching those new goals. Join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for our listeners. Get 2 months of Skillshare for free. That's right, Skillshare is offering 2 months to this past weekend listeners of unlimited access to over 25,000 classes for free. To sign up, go to Skillshare.com/Theo Von. Again, go to Skillshare.com/Theo Von to start your 2 months now. That's Skillshare.com/Theo Von. Let's listen to another person that listens to the podcast. Thank you for calling the hotline. Onward.
Yo, Theo. This is Jason up in Massachusetts.
What's up, Jason, up there in Mass? And I was just out there. Onward.
Telling you who I am, when I listen. I'm a manufacturer's rep for a cabinet company and a single father.
Oh, I love cabinets, man. Because a lot of times you're fucking standing around with something in your apartment and you're like, what the fuck do I do with this, bro? But son, in a cabinet, dude. Anything. You don't want to see it anymore? Bam, motherfucker. Surprise, dude. Me and this salt shaker are playing hide and go seek. You know, Indian in the Cupboard. Remember that movie? Loved that movie.
It goes back to Little People. I was just thinking Indian in the Cupboard.
Yeah. Next thing you know, they're going to have some people making little people fucking, you know. They're going to have a Cherokee and a little person, little Sandra fucking somewhere just to make another movie. That's Hollywood, bro. I wouldn't be surprised. And then they're going to spend $500,000 to get him in a fucking college over there at Loyola Marymount. Onward, brother, and you're a single father. Onward.
Listen while I'm on the road driving from place to place. Got a little 6-year-old sweet daughter girl who listens to Bishop Gunn, sings along, and says "gang gang" when something is awesome in her life. So we're raising her right, my friend. All right, be good.
I like that, man. I like that she likes their music. Thank you for sharing that. That's cool. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, they don't have any profanity in their music. I think some of it'd be great for children to listen to. You know, some of the beats are really, they get you going. I think they're like the kind of a Southern Aerosmith in a way. But thank you for listening, man. We really appreciate it. Here, let's take a call from another person that listens to the podcast. Thank you so much.
Yo, what up, boy? It's just your boy Mike G calling in.
Mike G.
You want to know who's listening? This who's listening.
Thank you, brother.
On my way to work in Chicago. I'm substitute teaching. Just trying to spread whatever knowledge that I have to the youth, and they're going to listen, or they're not. Either way, I'm here each and every day. Long-time listener. Always thought I'd call in, but it took 180 episodes to get here. Big Mike, that substitute, huh? Dude, I remember we had this dude. First of all, thanks for your service, bro, because nobody goes through more shit than a substitute teacher. Because kids were like, hey, remember the person that's usually here that we treat like shit? Kids are like, now they fucking send in some person who's only going to be here for one day. So we have to treat them like a whole year's worth of shit at one time. Or it went like, the substitute is awesome. I feel like it went either way. Do you remember any subs you had, Nick?
They were all really short-lived, like one and dones. I don't know.
Yeah.
We were pretty ruthless to them. It reminds me of Shawshank when the fresh fish comes in.
Oh yeah.
wait till they cry. Wait till they cry.
Yeah, the subs, man. It was always, sometimes they couldn't handle it. Dude, subs, man. And here's the thing: we had this one dude. He made his own kombucha mushroom like drink, and he would talk about it every day. And we'd have like 2 gallons of it. And he taught us science because our science teacher got busted dating a chick at school, a student. So be careful there, bro. First of all, if a young lady passes you her number, fucking pass that bitch back. You know what I'm saying, bro? Don't save it in your phone. You're busted then. But yeah, man, that was different times, dude. Substitute teacher. I couldn't imagine walking into a class and thinking for one day I'm going to control these kids.
Seem impossible task.
Yeah.
Herculean.
But subs, yeah, shout out to subs. How was that not a day? It was a National Substitute Teacher Day. People that just get hit by fucking spitballs and accused of sex crimes constantly. Jesus Christ. Thank you for your service, brother, and thanks for listening to this past weekend. Any other news we got, Nick?
In the NFL, there was some more movement last week. You talked about Antonio Brown.
Oh, yeah, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. got traded to the Cleveland Browns.
Wow. Dude, go Cleveland, baby. They got Baker Mayfields, they got Kareem Hunts, and they got Odell Beckham Jr.'s. Jesus. Who's throwing the ball? Baker. Who's catching it? Odell. That's crazy, man.
I missed that. They signed Kareem Hunt?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he got suspended for 8 games, but that second 8, boy.
Yeah. You got Nick Chubb in that first 8.
Yeah. Man, that's going to be good for Cleveland, man. It's exciting for them. It's exciting for them. Good for Cleveland. I love that.
They are officially the odds-on favorite to win the NFC East.
Are they really?
Or NFC North, excuse
me. Are they really?
Yeah.
Wow. The dog pound. Hell yeah, dude. The dog pound was huge when I was young. That Bernie Kosar. Let's take one more call from somebody else that listens. Onward.
What up, Theo? My name's Devin. I am a carpenter out of Asheville, North Kakalaki.
Asheville.
And since you get your shit together in the morning on Mondays, I just throw that shit on the job site drive and just fucking bullshit until lunchtime usually with the fucking podcast. So gang, dog, whole lot of gang shit.
Gang shit, bro. Get that baloney hitter, man. That's what I loved about doing construction or carpentry or fucking any job. Was getting to making that sandwich and getting that bitch at lunch, boy. Nothing tastes better. Dude, even if that sandwich is disgusting, that bitch tastes good after you worked for half a day. And you guys work much harder than I do out there, man. And thank you for supporting the podcast and for listening, bro. We got this shit, son. What else, Nick? Anything else on the docket?
That's all I got for news.
That's it, huh?
Johnny Football, speaking of the Browns, he signed with new startup AAF, the Alliance American Football League.
Oh, yeah. I saw one of their games a couple weeks ago. San Antonio, I think, has a team. Good luck to him. Yeah. He's had a lot of second chances. You know? It's funny. I was thinking on the way here about it's so easy for me for me to forget like all the people that have helped me in my life. Like when I start thinking back, I'm like, man, so many teachers have helped me. So many like friends' parents have helped me. My own parents. Just a little thing. It's like so many. It's amazing how much help we probably do get sometimes that we don't remember or realize. That just blows my mind sometimes. Like I remember sometimes I would miss the school bus and they had a man, this kid Bubby, and his daddy would give me a ride over there to school and he'd fucking blow cigarette smoke the whole time in the car. And dude, I remember I'd get to 5th grade, but I'd be addicted to nicotine, and I'd have to practice my spelling words in a cloud of smoke. And it's hard to spell words sometimes, but in fucking smoke, dude, in a fire basically. I mean, smoke is just a fire's fucking cousin. And it's hard to fucking, you're trying to spell an inconvenience during a fire. Man. So I was a pretty good speller because I went through it, I went through really, the buds of spelling. It's like the Navy SEALs program. But that man died eventually. I don't know what happened to him. He had a disease. He had something wrong with his legs when I met him. He could barely drive. Sometimes I even remember I'd have to push his knee down to fucking get the gas or the brake harder. So I guess maybe I helped him too a little bit on some of those rides. But, I just think about all the help that I've gotten, man. And the help that I get, from listeners of this podcast. So many people help. And we're excited. We got a single mom for San Jose this weekend coming up. We have a single mom for Phoenix the following weekend. We're going to have to find one for Australia.
Australian single mom, crikey.
What else, man? So I want to thank everybody that supports the podcast as always. And yeah, I hope this week I can think more about that. I just can't do things in my life alone. I can be confident about the things I'm doing, but just I called up actually, but when on the way here, I called up. They had a guy named Ken Highland, and he helped produce the podcast in the beginning, from my apartment. And he'd come over there, and neither one of us knew what the fuck we were doing. I mean, didn't know what the fuck, And I only got his voicemail machine, but it just made me feel so good to even hear his voice, Sometimes things get going, and you just, you don't, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I get going and I just forget the people that gave me that nudge in the beginning.
I think I do it too.
Yeah.
We're all guilty.
Yeah, and I don't mean to. It's just, so I'm going to make a point this week to try and just reach out to some of those people and just let them know that they're still with me, and see what I can do for them maybe. I wish there wasn't that muscle inside of me that can see the problems. I'll see problems more than I'll see, I'll see places that I'm having trouble than places that I've not had trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so easy to think about the things that aren't going good than to remember all the moments that weren't, and then somebody helped you, or, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Do you ever know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I weirdly feel like I'm usually following your train of thought.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, dang. All aboard, man. And we're all following it together, man. Thank you for all the people that support this podcast. Some of them we got voicemails from here.
Yo, Theo. This is your boy Greg from Philly. You asked who was calling in. So, I'm working in Wilmington, Delaware, even though I'm living in Philly.
Okay, working in Wilmington, Philly, fucking witness protection program shit right there. But hey, we got people in the WPP listening. And one more.
Takashi.
Yo, what's up, dog?
Yeah,
I'm listening, bro. And I wanted to let you know. My name is Shane.
That sounded fake when he said that, didn't it?
Shane?
Yeah, are you reading that off of a card?
I work for a company that's a legal cannabis grow out in Denver, Colorado.
And there you go, boy. So damn right you're fucking using that fake name, boy. Legal cannabis Shane out there.
Shane.
Yeah, I mean Sherlock at that high altitude, Shane. All listeners, man, thank you guys. And we did it, man. We are making this thing a real thing, and we do it together. And I hope that we can find many more ways to give back to the people that make this podcast a reality, which is all of us, to the listeners. And I think we'll be able to, Nick. I think that's something we can brainstorm more and just try to find other ways to do it, whether it's helping somebody start a pod, I don't know what we can do, but I know we do some stuff, but I think we can do more stuff, I just don't know what it is, man, but I'm sure we'll have some ideas. But thank you guys so much, man, and I mean that. And we'll just go out like we came in, dude. Let's celebrate living, man. We're here together. We did it. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Do you remember when we used this song or no?
Yeah.
180 episodes. That's crazy.
182.
Really?
This was 182.
I always thought this part of the song was weird. That soon we're gonna die. I always.
Very morbid.
It is kind of. Sorry about this. Sorry about the song, guys. Thanks for helping me get through this episode, man.
Hell yeah.
Let's have some fun while we all die.
A little bit of Beatles in it there, a little, huh? Right there, that part. Or maybe not. I don't fucking know anything about music. Happy St. Patty's. Happy vernal equinox. March 20th, man.
This That's what we want. All things equal, like we said before.
That's what I'm saying, man. Feel your butthole get a little wet on the vernal equinox, boy. Like your booty's been drinking out of one of those wide mouth water bottles, dude. That's what it feels like. Your butt will get a little bit wet. If you notice that, you know you will sweat more during the equinox than at any other 2 days of the year. And that's a true story. You can check that out. You guys be good to yourselves, man, because I know you deserve it. And I'm going to try to be good to myself this week as well. Thank you very much.